Hello and welcome to another video. Now, like I said a couple of weeks ago, ask and you shall receive. Obviously not always, but sometimes you might get lucky. So this is actually a video I'm doing because one of you guys suggested it, so thank you so much to whoever suggested it. So basically what I'm going to be doing today is tier ranking every single song from the Percy Jackson musical, the Lightning Thief musical. If you haven't even heard of it, what are you even doing on this fandom? It's basically a musical adaptation of the first book, The Lightning Thief, in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. It is absolutely incredible. I haven't actually gone to see it, but I have the playlist on Spotify basically on repeat and I just love it so much. I actually made a video. It's one of my first videos for this channel. You can go check it out. I think it's a top 10 reasons why you should listen to the musical. I'm pretty sure I still stand by those, but without further ado, let's just rank all these songs, shall we? Okay, so what tiers do we have? First of all, we have Play This at My Funeral, which is basically God tier. It's a song that I love and that I could listen to forever, and it takes me places, you know? It makes me feel really happy or sad. It just makes me feel a lot, and I love it. Then we have On Repeat All Day, which is basically like a great song, an incredible song that I love and that I could listen to on repeat. It just doesn't get to the level as Play This at My Funeral. And then we have Good Jam, which is basically a song that I don't skip on the playlist. I like it, it's good, but it's not to the level of greatness as the other two. And then we have It's a Good Song But Skip, which are basically like the songs that are more slow or more ballad-like just because I like them, but they don't usually fit my mood. So if I'm not listening to the playlist in order, I usually skip them. And then we have just plain old skip. It's just not the song for me, so I just skip it. Okay, so I put the songs in order, so let's just go through them. First of all, we have Prologue. And the Prologue is actually not the first song I listened to. I listened to Good Kid for the first time when this show was coming out, and well, my thoughts on that later. But Prologue is just very, very good, but it's so long and has so many different parts and has so many different vibes throughout it that I don't know if I could put this and play this at my funeral, but definitely on repeat all day. It's an incredible song. It summarizes what Percy Jackson is all about in like 5 minutes. I don't remember how long this is, but what can I say? It's just so good that I could honestly listen to it on repeat. The beginning with that thunder, like poetic cinema. And then we have Strong. And here we have the first case of It's a Good Song, but skip. Like I said, I do listen to this when I listen to the playlist in order, but when I'm just listening to them randomly, you know, on shuffle, it's just not my thing. It's a good song, and I'm glad that they gave Sally a song because she is very important to the story, and it's a very good message, but it's too slow for me. And then we have Minotaur and Weirdest Dream, and this one, I don't like the Minotaur part, but I do like the Weirdest Dream part because it, you know, Perceval vibes. But I will have to put this one in skip just because it's a transition song, so you don't have to listen to it. It's just so you know what is happening in between other good songs, so, you know, just skip. I do like the Weirdest Dream part though. And then we have Another Terrible Day. This was one of my first favorites just because it just screams Dionysus to you. You know, like, it's incredibly Mr. D. It's super in character. The only thing that I don't like is how this portrays Beckendorf, because apparently he was holding hands with a nymph while also dating Selena. So I don't support that. I don't think our boy Beckendorf would ever do that, especially because he was a super huge simp. So for that reason, I'm putting it in Good Jam. It's like a good song, but sometimes it's just a little bit too repetitive and too in your face for me to put it on repeat all day, but I still really love it. And then we have They're Sighing, and this one, okay, so the beginning is kind of meh, but then we get to Luke's part, and it's incredible. Luke might just be one of my favorite parts of this whole musical, which before listening to this, I would have never thought would be a thing, you know, Luke being one of my favorite parts. So for that, Their Sighing is elevated to a Good Jam. You know, it's usually not my kind of song, especially in the beginning, but when Luke gets there. Okay, then we have our girl Clarice's song, and I'm so happy they gave her one. And it's Put You in Your Place. And it's also a very good song. It's super in character and I love everything about it. But it's also a bit too much in my face for it to be on repeat all day. So I'm going to put it on Good Jam. Good Jam is basically a section for like very, very solid songs that are good, that are in character, but are not necessarily my kind of song. So that's why I can't put them any higher. And then we have the Campfire Song. And I thought about putting it on Good Jam because I haven't listened to it in a while, but this has to go on repeat all day. Like, I love every single one of their parts. Selena, Katie Gardner, and Grover's, and then PERCY's awkward part, it's just incredible. And then Chiron being like, my father's Kronos. Remember, kids?
He ate his children.
So, it's just super iconic, and it can't go below that. And then we have the Oracle, which was basically why I designed this tier skip. I mean, it's necessary, it's a way to introduce the prophecy, but it's just not my song. No. If I am not listening to it in order, even if I'm listening to it in order, I might skip it because I already know the prophecy. So I feel like there's no need for it for me. But for other people, you know, they need context. And then we have Good Kid. Now, I said this is the first song that I ever listened to from the musical because I think it's the first one they put out to like promote the show, and this has to go on Play This at My Funeral. It's incredible. The vocals are super good. The guy who plays Percy is just really super talented. The whole song, 6 schools in 6 years, it just portrays Percy so well. And I think this is like the pinnacle of this show, understanding the characters so freaking well. Like everything the movie couldn't do, this musical does. They might not have the best special effects, the best budget, or the most age-appropriate actors, but they get the characters and they respect the source material, so that's why I love it, basically. And then we have Killer Quest. And Killer Quest is good, but I don't think I would have it on repeat all day, so it's just like a good jam. It has its highs and lows, and I just love it in general. But on repeat all day, I didn't know I was gonna be this picky, but apparently I am. Okay, so before I get to the second part of this video, please leave a like and subscribe because it really does help my channel. Let's go. So this is the second half, and then we have Lost, which is honestly a great song. But it does like have parts where it pauses just so the story can move on and then the song continues. So it has to go on Good Jam for me, which leads us to my grand plan. And this goes definitely in Play This at My Funeral. It was one of my favorite songs for a long... It's still one of my favorite songs, honestly. It replaced Good Kid for a while there. Good Kid is back on top, I think. But my grand plan, it honestly really gets Annabeth. And I didn't like this actress's voice that much at the beginning, but it's grown on me. I really like it now. And I love the animatics for it. It's just, they're beautiful. And I recommend you guys watch them if you haven't because they are really incredible. There are some really talented fan artists out there, man, and animators. It's a really good song. What can I say? I think it gets Annabeth and her relationship with the camp and Athena really, really well. And with that, let's move on to more of like Grover's song, which is Drive. And this one I could have on repeat all day. It does have some pauses, like I said, to move the story along, like when they meet Ares and stuff like that, but it's just really a really nice song, and I really, really enjoy Grover's voice. And then we have Weirdest Dream reprise, and that has to go on skip. This one I think is the one that I skip the most besides Oracle, because it's just like, I know we need it, but I don't like it, and Kronos' voice is just like meh. And then we have The Tree on the Hill, which puts me in like a hard place, like a hard spot. I do love it, and it's a beautiful song, honestly. It's like Grover's song, so it's really important and it's really beautiful, but also, do I want this to be played at my funeral, you know? So just because it's so good, I'm going to put it on repeat all day. Even though it's like a slower song and a sadder song, it's so beautiful that it deserves to be there. And then we have DOA, or Dead on Arrival, which is honestly a great jam. I'm gonna put it there. The part with the choir kids, like this musical for children really went there. And that's like a very Percy Jackson thing to do, so it's extremely on brand. And then we have Son of Poseidon, which I feel like you guys might think is one of my favorites, but it's actually not. I think it's a good song, but I skip it just because it could have been much better. It doesn't click with me as much as the other ones do. I'm not sure because I've only listened to the song, so I'm like missing a bit of context, which is why I'm not certain if Percy didn't know he was the son of Poseidon until that moment, or if he figured it out sooner. Please let me know if you have watched the musical or if you just know, because I mean, I'm pretty sure he would have discovered it during Capture the Flag, because they do have Capture the Flag in this musical, but it just seemed weird to have a whole song about that in this moment, but you know, it's still a good song. And then we have The Last Day of Summer. What can I say? Luke is one of my favorite parts of this musical, so this has to go here. His reprise of Good Kid is just immaculate. His voice, perfect. His acting, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's perfect because he expresses these emotions so well, and I've never understood Luke better, but I mean, it breaks my freaking heart every time I get to this part. It's like, poor Luke. I understand why he's doing it. Obviously, I don't agree with his methods, but I really understand this poor kid who's just trying to get his father to pay attention to him for so long and wants to like be himself and do things for himself, not just get like recycled quests. It's so good, guys. If you don't listen to any of the other ones, I would recommend listening to Good Kid and then The Last Day of Summer. It's incredible. The reprise is just, it kills me every freaking time. Which leads us to Bring On the Monsters, which goes on repeat all day. As far as closing songs of a musical go, I think this is like a very good example. It's just really good, really solid, and I like that it has a little bit of time to highlight each of the characters. It's just a really good song. It's a great closing song. So now that we've gone through all of the official songs, let's go through the extra songs that didn't make it on the actual musical. Okay, so I couldn't find any tier ranker that had these songs included, and I was too lazy to do it myself, so I'm just gonna go through them and tell you what I think. So the first one is Camp Half-Blood. It's like the anthem for Camp Half-Blood. If you've read the Harry Potter books, they also have like an anthem for Hogwarts. It's kind of like that version, so I thought it was a really fun thing to do, like kind of the orientation video of this universe. So I would put this one in a good jam. Then we have Pick a Side, and it's basically the kids like having to pick a side for when the war breaks out, and I love it. This one goes on repeat all day. I wish I'd listened to it more before doing this video, but I've honestly only listened to it once to do this video, so honestly I should put it on repeat just so I learn it, but it's just a really good, solid song. Then we have Try, which just didn't really stick with me, so I would say it's a good song, but skip. And then you guys, we have On the Same Boat, which is like this alternate universe version of Drive, and it's basically all about Annabeth and Percy's tense relationship in that first book. And obviously my Percybeth heart loves it. It's just so good to see their rivalry acknowledged, and how their rivalry stems basically from their parents. And it's so good. Really good moments, and on repeat all day. Maybe if I listened to it more, it would go on Play This at My Funeral, but for now, I think on repeat all day, it's a good spot. And finally, we have The Witchiest Minotaur, sung by Annabeth's actress, I think, and this one just had me so confused. I would say skip just because I don't understand where in this musical this song would go, so it's like, it's not a bad song, it's just like a song for kids about the witchiest Minotaur, so I'm just very confused, honestly. It's just a lot of confusion for me. So that was it. That was basically me tier ranking every single song in the Lightning Thief musical. Please leave a like if you like this video. Comment down below which is your favorite song and which is your least favorite song. Also, tell me down below if you've had the honor, the privilege to watch this musical live. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click that bell button so you get notifications every time I post a new video. I post videos twice a week, so that's every Monday and Friday. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!